Welcome to The Anomaly, the contradistinct, uncensored, unmonetizable, and deemed unwatchable by the mainstream masses. We are the ones they cannot control and attempt to hold back, but together we form revolution. The Ramborgia. Welcome to John Rambo Presents the show, Stay Ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.
You thought you could escape, but even without its true leader, the show is here. I'm OJ, and with me is the kind, the gracious, the generous man who deigned to be here with us tonight, today, this morning, this afternoon, Howard.
That's a grand.
Hello.
Hello. That's a grand entrance there you did for me. I'm speechless.
Oh, please don't be. I can't just spend an hour here talking to myself. I mean, I could, but it would be really boring for all parties.
Okay. So, it's a little strange, our fearless leader, John Rambo, isn't here to help us host this show, but John and I have done this in the past, and it has gone very well, considering a lot of times these things are very last minute. So, is there anything you want to start off with, John?
Well, I've got a few topics here. I always think I don't have enough, and then we always end up with too much. But let's start with a real actual news topic. So I discovered this morning that there had been a very interesting court case that had finally gotten resolved. I'm sure there will be appeals and whatnot. But something long-running has apparently been settled, at least in U.S. courts, for the U.S., that is. Something that I would have wanted to say to Howard earlier this month, which is that the Happy Birthday song's copyright has been ruled invalid.
No way.
Yes way.
How long? Let me ask you this. I didn't get a chance to read it, but how long has this case been in litigation?
I think it was March of 2012 or 13, I think.
So who brought it to court stating that it's not a copyrightable piece of music?
So there was a group that was... Dang it, I opened the wrong article. There was a better article that had more information. But so what ended up happening was there was a group that was doing a documentary about the Happy Birthday song. And the Happy Birthday people said, okay, you can use the song in your documentary if you give us $1,500. And they just kind of went, no. I mean, just no, that's not right. What's wrong with you people? So, okay, maybe it was March 2015. It might have not actually been a year. So there we go. But basically what ended up happening was they looked into the copyright and the other other documents about it. So for example, there was sheet music from an old book of songs where the song was originally the Good Morning song, where it was actually a teacher being sung to by the children, children singing back to the teacher, good morning to you, good morning to you, good morning, dear teacher, and then replace that with children, and it was the Good Morning song. And that was back in the 1800s, and there's all sorts of shenanigans, like it was written by two sisters, one of them never claimed to have written it until the other one tried to claim that they wrote it, and then back in the 30s, they renewed that they sold the copyright rights to someone else, but apparently the key thing in this case was that the rights that they sold appear to be only for a specific piano arrangement of the song, not including the lyrics, not including other things, which means that according to this case, if all goes through and there's no appeals and all that stuff, in the U.S., the Happy Birthday song will be free for everyone.
Yeah, but if you said that the melody itself is still copyrighted, then the problem is you can actually say it, you can't sing it.
Right. Now, according to this, the melody wasn't included. It was just that piano arrangement.
Okay.
which I don't know. I realize we might be in trouble since I just said good morning to you, but hopefully no one will notice, or that I was so off key no one will ever discover it. So that's a pretty big deal because I think the company that has the copyright is actually owned by I think Time Warner. It's a subsidiary, and they'd collect about $2 million a year.
Now, did this reach the Supreme Court, or was it just like local federal court?
This was okay. So the judge was Judge King, and this was in the state of man, I'm really bad at pulling this information. I should know this. It wasn't the Supreme Court. It didn't go that high, but I guess it's wherever Judge George King is from, and because of the power of Google. He is Chief Judge of the United States District Court, California.
Yeah, so you know what that's going to do? It's just going to open up a can of worms for. This is going to reach the Supreme Court eventually, and basically the case is going to be about the patent system or the copyright system.
Yeah,
the copyright system in the U.S. is broken, and it really needs to be revamped. Mm-hmm. You know, you get these weird situations where like now you got all these copyright trolls or these patent trolls and going around claiming that they own that piece of whatever idea it is, and that's why we get these weird stupid litigation cases. Now, you know, look at the tech companies. You get Apple suing Google sues Apple, or Apple sues Samsung for something, and then to prevent them from selling their product in the U.S., and then vice versa. Samsung goes ahead and sues Apple for something else, you know?
Yeah, I mean, another thing is, like, in some of these patents, like, for example, swipe to open, that was used on some derpy Windows device millions of years ago, and that was documented and stuff millions of years ago, so none of these jerks came up with the idea. Like, people patent really, really, really commonplace computer science things that's just basic knowledge that's taught in class and has been since like the 70s. Like, it's ridiculous. And these guys were getting $2 million a year for this song that everyone knows. It's been around for over 100 years. I can't even imagine why there's any doubt. I mean, think of all the sitcoms and whatnot that did joking, sarcastic birthday songs because they couldn't sing this one.
Well, look at the how many times you go into a restaurant and they have to come up with their own version of their song. Think of it like that, you know?
Yeah, it's just really stupid, common sense thrown out the window. So, in summary, happy birthday, everyone, and happy birthday, Howard, and everybody, and all that jazz. And I wish we could sing the song for realsies.
Actually, you know what? Wait a minute, I forgot. I have to wish you a happy birthday. It was your birthday earlier this month. I didn't get a chance to, because I forget, because you don't like to publicize your day of birth, sir.
I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to that, because I'm a greedy jerk and I want stuff. And I figure if I don't tell anybody, I won't have to worry about getting stuff, because no one will give me stuff because I didn't tell them.
Wait a minute, when is your birthday?
2 days after yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, it also makes it real easy to forget, because I'm in my birthday mode. Like, if your birthday is near somebody else's, unless you're really good friends or it's the same day, like, unless you talk to each other on a super regular basis, it's real easy to forget.
Yeah, you're right. My birthday is weird because a lot of I always notice this. My birthday, like all the major releases for games, always falls on that day. Always
perfect.
And then like the day before. The day before my birthday was the infamous Dreamcast release, so 99.99. You know, and then the day after was a very catastrophic day, just like you. So you're yeah.
So in that case, so no. Wait a second. I asked John when your birthday was, and I thought he said yes. He must have said no, because I thought my birthday is 2 days before. No, it was 1 day before yours then.
Yeah, it has to be. You're 9/8 then, right?
Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was 9/6. Maybe I typed it wrong.
Yeah, I'm 9/10.
Okay, so then it's I can't even math right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 days before, not 2 days after.
Yeah. So,
Wow, I'm an idiot.
so I
Like-
apologize. Happy belated birthday, sir.
Thank you. No, you too.
And yeah, and going back to this thing with this happy birthday song, this it really does. Our patent system is terrible. We just have to revamp it. You can't.
Well,
Yeah, you can't expect to patent something that is so widely used. Something that's very. Next thing you know, they're gonna patent speech. I own these words. You can never use them. It's like.
Like, I could picture Saturday Night Live trying to patent verklempt because of all those skits they did with it.
Oh, God. Saturday Night Live is getting very terrible.
I think it's in cycles. I really think it's in cycles, and that it's always better when it's always better when you're younger. But here's the thing. So speaking of patents, while we're on the subject, more news from recent things. So a fellow named did I get the right link here? I hope I had the right link open. A fellow basically bought a drug patent for like a cancer drug or a kidney drug, and as soon as he bought it, he raised the prices by 5,000%.
So this was a guy
who owns a company.
So he's the owner, and don't tell me it's a big pharmaceutical company.
It's called Turing Pharmaceuticals. He took the price of a pill for it's a pill that helps fight a complication of AIDS and cancer. He raised the price from $13.50 per pill to $750.
So he can go ahead. Yeah. So he strong-armed the company, bought the company out, so that he can market his own form of medication to the masses. Wow. That's not even, I don't even know how to, that's basically corporate mafia. Don't you think?
It's pretty bad. Yeah. He basically just he buys the, he buys out the company that makes the drug and has a patent on the drug so no one else can make it, and then just jacks up the price. And that's, it's pretty atrocious. Like, because no one else can make the drug.
Wow.
And the guy's done it before too.
So now, if somebody, if humankind is out of necessity, needs that medication for X, Y, and Z, he's just going to come in there, strong arm that pharmaceutical company or the scientists that were part of that research group, and basically mafia style, the corporate capitalism style system. I don't even know how to explain it now because it's baffling.
Well, I mean, think of it this way. Now, what the patents are supposed to do. Wow, I'm shaking my hand. I feel like Rush Limbaugh. But anyway, what the patents are supposed to do is encourage you to come up with a new drug, to come up with something new, and you're the only one who can sell it for like 20 years or something. So you can make back your money. You probably invested a ton of money into getting this drug out, and then the trials and getting through the FDA, all that stuff.
Wow.
So the patent's supposed to protect you in that regard. But apparently what's happening is companies will go, instead of discovering their own drugs, they'll buy up existing drugs and just jack up the price. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but wasn't there something like that a few years back too with a lot of these over-the-counter drugs, specifically around like allergy medication? Because those like what's the name of those large large pills like
Zyrtec,
and Claritin, those types of medications. For years, the pharmaceutical companies make the medication, and then it takes a long time because they hold the patent for that medication for that time to go ahead and for some of these other companies to come in and make over-the-counter stuff or generics or whatever the case may be, and then you get they're basically, I think there was something that was in court about that because they wanted to extend the patents on these medications so that you can't make generic ones.
Oh man, I picked a bad time to drink some water. But
but it's funny though, these are the same companies that cry when the U.S. government sits on top of them about taxes and then paying taxes, and then they cry, and then they go ahead and they move their home offices out of the U.S. so they can pay less taxes.
Now, the patents for a company that comes up with a new drug, like I mean, I don't have as much a problem with that as much as I do with when somebody else comes in and then just buys the rights, the sold rights to it, and jacks up the price. I mean, they should be able to make back their investment and then a reasonable amount of return, a reasonable amount of profit, but not just gouging people and blocking stuff off. So that's kind of an issue. And what this guy's doing is even worse, because they just run around, they buy stuff up and just jack up the prices, and it's really bad. So apparently the guy's name is Martin Shkreli.
Yeah, but that's what they're doing now too with a lot of the homeopathic medication. So like homeopathic in a sense, like, and I'm not an advocate of substance abuse or substance use anyways, but marijuana. You get into like people that have cancer and they're recovering from chemo and everything else, and they can't eat. So the marijuana helps them with that. But the pharmaceutical companies are lobbying against legalization of marijuana for use, for medicinal use, because they are going to lose money.
Now, when my grandpa was really sick, this was maybe 8, 9 years ago, he had no appetite. He couldn't eat. The state he was in, medical marijuana was legal for this purpose, and that actually helped him to eat.
Yeah. So, but was that here in this? That was in New York, right? In the state of New York, or was that here?
It wasn't in New York, but it was in, in the US.
So it was in the US. So was that a state that was on the process of legalizing marijuana for medicinal uses?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think they would have just been slipping him illegal weed, at the hospice care center. I don't think they would do that.
But there's studies. There's a lot of studies that indicate that marijuana has a lot of other uses that doesn't have to do with like cancer recovery or anything like that. There's even studies about it helping kids that have ADD, ADHD, and not only that, the kids that are autistic. It helps them focus.
I mean, I've heard that there's some studies that say that it's bad to be taking that at a young age while your brain's developing. But again, there's studies that have said conflicting things back and forth for years. So who knows? The only way we're going to find out is if we test it. I'm not saying us personally. I'm saying if the FDA and science people test it.
But then it goes back to, big pharma coming in and controlling everything, And big pharma, going back to this patent thing, big pharma reminds me a lot of these cable companies. They're the same way. Telecom companies are the worst, the absolute worst. Look at Comcast, one of the most hated companies in America.
It's true, they are. And it's atrocious. My parents' cable service, they pay $1 million for it. Comes with a security system, which is nice, but they have terrible internet speeds. And like you can barely I don't think you can watch Netflix at their house. Like the reception.
And then they have
bad.
Data caps, right? They have like a monthly data cap, right?
Well, without streaming services, they don't come near it. But yeah, I know that in a lot of areas.
And here's a good one from Comcast. This just came out a few weeks ago, and this is a kick right in the nuts. They go ahead and they release another package where if you pay an extra $10 or $15 a month, you have no data caps. So that's extortion. That's extortion in my book.
It's well, the only reason it's extortion is because there's no competition.
Yeah.
Right? If you had a choice between Comcast and Verizon and AT&T and someone good, then that would be fine because Comcast can charge what they want. But if they're charging too much for a product, you can go somewhere else.
That I read the other day about with this new law for what is it called? Making these telecom companies tier 2. Yeah,
for net neutrality.
It's tier 2. Yeah, for net neutrality. There was a big thing with Chattanooga. Chattanooga is one of the few towns or few cities in the U.S. that created their own fiber.
Right. A lot of places wanted to set up fiber internet too, but the telecom companies
So what happened was they got the money together from, with help from federal aid to get this up and running. And then throughout the whole process from start to finish, all they went through is litigation because they sat in courts because the Comcast specifically was trying to sue them, stating that it was a breach of contract with the companies. And it's sad because a lot of time when you read a lot about these telecom companies in the beginning, specifically the cable companies, a lot of their startup came from taxpayer money. So we funded for them to go ahead and lay down the copper, lay down all these lines and everything else. And then they went ahead, turned around and charged us for money. And they were basically created as monopolies. They're monopolies.
Yeah, basically, we paid them billions of dollars to lay fiber. They were supposed to bring fiber to some more remote areas and to other places, and some of the bigger areas too, but they didn't do it. They didn't do the hold up their end of the bargain, but they got their money, so yay! Yeah,
and that's sad. And then when you compare our internet speeds to some of the countries in Asia, specifically Korea, they're going on like 2 gigabit services, if not higher now. 30, 40 bucks a month, And then what are we paying here? I'm paying, 100 and something dollars a month for 101 megabits down and 35 up,
Woo. Yeah, I haven't done a speed test on what I'm actually getting in a while. But I don't get full reception when I use Skype. A lot of the times, even when talking with John, I can't even hear. I'll go robot.
But you got to admit, though, when you compare our service, yours and ours, or yours and mine, to Comcast, Time Warner, and some of the other companies, it's one of the better ISPs.
Yeah, we've got
Cablevision.
And an Optimum Online is their internet service, and they're a lot better than the others. I mean, there were still shenanigans. Like when I was first signed up, I said specifically, I don't want the Optimum triple play. I only want internet. I wrote on the form, I only want internet. And they signed me up for the triple play. So I called them and said, I don't want the triple play. And they said, oh no, we're sorry. Here, we'll refund you for the triple play money. Okay, thanks. And they refunded me the money. And the next month, they hadn't removed me from having the triple play. So I had to call them back to get refunded again, and then call them back to finally get them to actually remove the triple play from my bill.
Wow. That is shenanigans. So you're paying an extra, what, $30, $40 a month for services that you're not going to use?
It was closer to it was actually probably close to about $60.
Ooh, yeah, that can be, that's hurtful there.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it would be more like $30 to $50 more, but either way. So wow, we kind of went off on an important issue swerve here. Like these are some political things. Like we're not touching the election, okay? We're not touching that. But we still got into some political stuff. Man, I wrote silly things on my list of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, this is one of the first times that we've ever been serious. Talking, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know if I like it, Howard.
Sometimes there's times for everything. Times to play, times to joke around, and times to be serious. And I think, we can be both today. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, let's bounce around a little bit. Let's soften things a bit, make things a little more friendly, I guess. So, as we mentioned, my birthday happened, and for my birthday, I went to a Renaissance festival.
Damn it, man! I always wanted to do that.
I never went
to one of those, and don't let anybody know. I've always wanted to LARP. Yeah, I've always wanted to LARP, but I would have to do it with people that are experienced.
Right. Yeah. Well, as far as this place goes. This one, their last show, I think, is either this weekend or next weekend in New York, which is about an hour from where I live. So I guess an hour and a half from you, maybe an hour 45.
Okay.
I don't know.
Where? Okay.
But it's in Sterling Forest.
Where's that? Is that upstate New York?
It's like west of here. It's just across. I think it's just across the Tappan Zee. So, man, you can go to Pali when you're done. Palisades Mall for Justice. But okay, so I went. So you've never been. So I recommend it. There's actually another one in Connecticut, and I think Bristol in November or something like that, which strikes me as odd because it's
one of the guys
kind of
that
chilly.
or my counterpart that works with me said when he was on vacation. No, I'm sorry. This past weekend there was one in Massachusetts.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a really good one, actually.
So did you have? Now let me ask you this: Did you what kind of food did you have? Did you have mutton?
I didn't have mutton, though they do have turkey. Usually the big thing is turkey legs. They should have mutton, but I didn't see any.
Fun fact, I don't want to change the subject too much, but did you know that when they introduced Burger King to India, they offered mutton Whoppers?
Wow, I can see that. That's pretty cool. I actually had a lamb burger at Lucky's in Stamford the other day. It was pretty good, though they didn't put enough sauce on it, so it wasn't like... It was weird. It didn't have as much flavor as I was expecting. It was tasty, but not as much flavor as I would have hoped. Really?
I had lamb.
I couldn't bring myself to eat it for a long time, but after having Indian food, oh man, lamb Rogan Josh or lamb vindaloo or lamb korma, really good.
Okay.
But so the Renaissance festivals, no, I had they had steak on a steak, which was okay. They had turkey legs. I made the correct choice and the incorrect choice simultaneously by getting a sausage on a stick.
What was the reason why it was? I understand the correct choice. What was the reasoning behind the incorrect choice?
Well, it was just to make sure we're on the same page. It was the correct choice because it was the same size, the same cost as the steak, but it was about maybe an inch in diameter and maybe 7 to 12 inches long. Like this thing was huge. It was the correct choice because it was the most bang for your buck and it was really tasty. It was the incorrect choice because I'm sitting there eating a phallic object, dressed up funny in front of all my friends, and it shot me in the eye with its juice. And everyone saw.
So it OJ'd you in the eye? It ejaculated in your eye?
Yes, it did. And I was supposed to be immune to this. It wasn't supposed to ever happen to me, but it did. And it was all over my glasses. It was pretty bad. Mostly it was just like steam and water and whatnot, but it was still kind of embarrassing. But what was good though, I mean, they had other food there too. Like, they had fries and potatoes.
That's
and
nonsense.
Blah, blah, blah.
There's no French fries in that Renaissance era.
Well, they had they had big plates of fries. They had nachos too. One of my heroes, somebody walked over and I was in awe. They had stacked on top of each other 2 plates of nachos and a blooming onion
nachos
or something.
In the Renaissance era?
They did not. But Howard, how do you stack a stack of nachos on top of a stack of nachos with a blooming onion on top? That takes skill.
That does take skill.
I was impressed.
Did he have drinks too with him?
They had no. That person didn't have drinks, but they had They were selling beer and cider, and they had cider back then, I think.
Well, did they have mead? Did you try the mead?
Yes, they did. Oh, heck yeah, I love mead. I tried making mead once, but this was years ago and I was stupid.
I never had mead.
It's delicious. It's basically a really, really sweet drink because it's basically take honey, boil honey, add yeast to honey, ferment honey. Congratulations, you have sugar. And it's really good. And if you want it to be really sweet, I guess you don't have to ferment it too long. But if you want it to be nice and dry, you just have the yeast eat up all the sugar. It's really tasty, and I love it.
To make an alcoholic beverage out of honey, being that it's very sweet, is it high in alcoholic content? I
think it's around 12 to 15%. It's a wine, man. It's a stronger. It's like a wine.
Yeah, if you had a couple of glasses a day, you're stumbling out of there, right?
Yeah, well, at the prices they had there, you pretty much could only afford a couple glasses. But I mean, it's fun because you go there and they've got performers and whatnot. They had a guy juggling fire and doing spinning plate tricks and making fun of children. But the joust is the finale. And it's not, and I mean, it kind of looks, sometimes it looks like they kind of throw themselves off the horse. It's a little over the top and a little obvious that, but it's just all in good fun. But this really had me thinking though. There's Renaissance festivals, but what about other festivals? There's plenty of other periods of time that humanity has been around. Like, for example, what if we started having caveman festivals, everyone's afraid of fire. All the food, like the food is like torn off of like a dead animal that maybe they put in front of like the one fire they're allowed to have. People are getting knocked unconscious and dragged into caves. I mean,
you could call that the Flintstones Festival, right?
Yeah,
and then
perfect,
I could have
right?
one of those Brontosaurus ribs, right?
I would eat that. I would eat so many
Brontosaurus ribs.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go for a more terrifying era, you could go for a French Revolution festival. The soundtrack could be provided by Bastille.
Yeah, but if you do that, isn't that the same kind of was that the same era for Black Plague as well, or was that more Renaissance?
The French the Black Plague was around medieval Renaissance times. But the French Revolution, I mean, the ending could be the instead of the joust, you could have the execution of the king and everybody. And you could have, popular French foods that you could have cake instead of food, just have cake, because that's what they said that you could have. Let them eat cake and all that. I don't know. Or you could just go for an era that hasn't happened yet. Have a future festival where nobody's there and the land is scorched dead and dry.
You know what's the greatest era? Industrial Revolution.
What?
You want to know why? Because I get to walk around with handlebar mustache.
You can walk around with a handlebar mustache now. I want to wear
a top hat and a handlebar mustache and walk around with a cane and a nice 3-piece suit.
Okay, that would be fun. I can see that. Like Howard as a Robert
and a monocle
or something. Oh, of course, the monocle.
A pocket watch. Yes.
Both on a chain, but different.
What about
chains.
steampunk?
Steampunk. Actually, the Renaissance Festival, the one I went to, one of their weeks, they have a steampunk weekend.
Really?
Yeah. The weekend I went was Pirate Weekend. Yeah, where they had a lot of pirate-themed things. Some of the shows switched up to do pirate-themed jokes and pirate-themed shows. They had pirates walking around randomly. They added them to some of the events and whatnot. They had a pirate show-off thing, a pirate recruitment thing. They had pirate-themed musicians. It's pretty cool. So I highly recommend you go at some point. But unfortunately, as the weather gets colder, they move out and they go elsewhere. Because as you most likely know, today is the first day of autumn.
But the leaves haven't been changing yet, or haven't begun.
Not yet. A little bit. I've seen some brown leaves.
It's cool,
but
though.
Not a ton.
It has been a lot cooler.
Yeah, like I actually turned the air conditioning off, and I haven't died yet.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, so I gotta ask you: are you a fan? What's your favorite season? What do you think?
My favorite season? Spring and autumn. I can't stand the summer.
Yeah, no, summer makes me want to kill myself.
People are asking me like, "Oh, why don't you move south?" I'm like, "Are you out of your mind? I can't deal with the weather now in the summertime, and you want me to stay in that type of weather all freaking year long? I'm ready to kill somebody."
I've got friends in Texas. Yeah, I've got friends in Texas. I refuse to visit them unless it's autumn or winter. Well, like F that. And they're like, "No, come move to Texas." I'm like, "F that sauce."
And
no.
Look at that. Imagine having to live in California.
Oh, gosh. I mean, San Diego, okay, that's nice. Northern California, nice. But, oh, gosh. Southern California, like too far down. Actually, San Diego is just nice because you get lucky. You're in that magical weather region where it just stays 75. But go to Los Angeles. It's really hot. Yeah, man. I mean, go to Death Valley. It's called that for a reason.
That Death Valley area, it's weird too because it's hotter than balls in the morning, and then at night it's like below zero and shit sometimes, right? Yeah.
It gets really cold. I don't know how cold it gets. I mean,
yeah, there's some. I read somewhere that you can die from like staying there and at night. And so I don't know if it's a certain season or whatever, but it's like balls hot and then freaking cold than shit,
Yeah, so the high today in Death Valley is 107 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. Weird, but I want more. I want more highs and lows. Come on, Google. Stop failing me here. But that's atrocious.
Can you even survive?
I don't think people can survive there. Okay. Oh, here we go. The average high. The average low in. Wow, the average low in January is 40 degrees, and the average high is 66.
So I was wrong. I thought I read somewhere there was like a desert that like gets very, very cold.
Oh, here we go. No. Okay, so the average high. Okay, so here's a good one. Oh, what the average low? These are average. I'm getting my averages and records mixed up because like the average high in June is 128. There's a record high in June and what is 128. The record low in June is 49.
Okay, so that's about But now here's my question: at that temperature, right, at 129 degrees, you said 120 is it 129 or 128? Okay, 128, right? You're going down the road. At what point does asphalt start melting? I mean, this is a legitimate question.
Well, I think that it's not just I think that the ambient temperature is 129, but the asphalt absorbs so much of the heat. It probably gets way hotter.
Then the asphalt will, at a certain temperature will melt or will start melting. But then you're going down the road, you're driving down the road. At what point do your tires get so hot that they possibly explode?
Yeah. It's a good question.
Because remember, as your tires are inflated, right? There's air in your tires. As you're going down the road, not only does your tires heat up, the air inside heats up, which in turn expands the volume of air in there. So let's say you're at 34, 35 psi. You're going down the road at 128 degrees, doing 70 miles an hour. Now it's not 35 psi. Now it's like 40, 45. However much more volume is in there, and couple that with that it's rubber. It doesn't do well. It does well with heat, but not extreme heat like that. Because now the rubber's touching the asphalt, which in turn the asphalt is at ridiculously high temperatures now because of the absorption rate of asphalt.
Yeah. So according to an article, I mean, you can't really tell for certain, but 50 degrees at 50 degrees Celsius, if it's a traveled road, the pavement starts.
So 50 degrees Celsius is what 100 and
122.
So then the asphalt's melting. Then on that day the asphalt was melting, or it should have been melting.
Yes.
See, that's dangerous because now, let's say you're going down Death Valley, right? Is that Route 66?
I don't know if it goes near there. Route 66 eventually cuts off before you get all the way to California.
So let's say you're going down a road, right? You're in Death Valley at 128 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say you're a tractor trailer. If the asphalt is beginning to melt, right? Naturally, the tractor trailer is a lot heavier than a car. It creates divots in the road. Let's say you're doing 65, 70. It can get a little hairy now that at night it gets cooler. The asphalt hardens. Now there's divots in the road.
Yeah.
So what do? Have to keep constantly repaving the road?
I don't know. I think you just don't go there.
That's like hell.
Pretty much, yeah. Just don't. But the funny thing is, there's a Death Valley National Park.
If we were there, would you? And I dared you to walk on the asphalt barefoot. Would you do it?
I would probably check the temperature of the asphalt, put something on it to see if it burns. I'd touch it lightly with a foot, and then if my foot burnt, well, it was only a second, just one toe.
128 degrees. I think at that temperature, if it's melting like that, it's gonna melt. Your foot is gonna melt. You're not gonna have.
Or it'll get stuck to your foot, and you'll have to peel it off, and you'll lose the top layer of skin.
That's disgusting. Then you're at what is it? First degree burns.
First degree, probably.
God, that's disgusting.
Lovely.
You can literally fry eggs on that thing.
Yeah, though I wouldn't recommend heating them.
Too.
Speaking of frying eggs, though, quick sidetrack. I cooked eggs the other day, and I was so happy it tasted so good, I forgot to put the unused eggs back in the fridge.
That's not a problem. Did you know that? Yep. Did you know that some people leave eggs in the pantry? Shit. No, I'm being serious. Let me read this. The same thing with. Here we go. Another sidetrack. What I was told is whoever decides to put butter in the fridge, it does not know what they're missing, because apparently you're supposed to leave butter out in a cool, dry place. Did you know that? Butter is not supposed to be. You shouldn't put it in the fridge, because now what happens is you cut into the butter and you start spreading it on your toast or on your piece of bread. What usually happens? The butter's in the fridge. It's almost frozen, right? And it's a pain to have to spread. But now you leave.
Yeah, you have to leave it out for like 2 hours.
But here's the thing: you don't have to leave it out. Oh no, you don't have to leave it in the fridge. You can leave it out for the whole time. You can leave it out for like weeks.
So you take like one stick of butter, and you just put it in a cool, dry place, and then when that one runs out, you get the next stick of butter. Leave it out in
a cool, dry place. Same thing.
Is that why there's all those crazy butter holders?
Yep. We're the only country that does that. Let me see this thing about eggs, because I'm pretty sure. Can eggs be left out?
I don't know. Well, at this point, they've been out for a day and a half. And I'm not sure I want to.
It's been a day and a half?
Mm-hmm. Thank goodness I didn't buy a whole dozen.
Yeah, see? The British are the least likely people in Europe to store their eggs in the fridge.
Well, they're the most likely to store their eggs on a skillet inside a hollowed out piece of bread. Oh, that too?
Yes.
Those are so good.
British, yeah, because think about it. When you get an egg and the egg comes out of the hen's butt, right? It's warm, isn't it? Okay, so why do you have to refrigerate it?
So it doesn't grow bacteria inside?
But it has a shell.
Right, but I don't think the shell's completely impermeable.
Says who?
I don't know. Now I'm getting hungry because I didn't eat dinner yet.
Did you know? We're just talking about this in karate class. Did you know that they interviewed several people, a lot of people that were high in age, like in years, and they all said the same thing. Mm-hmm. They attribute their longevity to eating eggs every day. Yeah, wow. There's something in the eggs, and then there was one lady that she said she ate eggs and bacon for like 90-something years, every day. I'm surprised her cholesterol wasn't through the roof because of the bacon. But,
oh gosh, you're really making me hungry now.
Eggs and bacon. Oh, you know what? Eating breakfast for dinner is the best thing in the world.
Oh, dude, breakfast food is the best.
Some pancakes, some eggs, some bacon.
Only problem is pancakes are so bad for you.
Dude, there's a thing with me, man. I don't know. Everybody has their own weaknesses when it comes to certain foods. For me, it's potatoes. French fries, man. Yeah. I can never get enough of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, seriously, go to Belgium. It's where they're
French fries from Belgium.
French fries are from Belgium.
Really? Learn something new every day.
Sure. I think I've said this in an episode that you weren't in, Howard. But for those of you who may not have heard that episode, in World War I, American soldiers saw people speaking French cooking fried potatoes. And like, oh man, they're frying potatoes. They're really good. And these guys are speaking French. They must be our buddies from France. Because the Americans didn't recognize that those dudes were wearing Belgian uniforms, because in Belgium, they speak French and Dutch.
Okay.
So it was Belgian people. And dude, the fries in Belgium are so good. Like, there's so many different places to get them. In Bruges, there's 2 dueling French fry places in front of the clock tower, which is amazing. And one of them serves it up with a traditional stew, and the other one's really good too. And there's a French fry museum there as well that doesn't give you free French fries with your admission, which makes me laugh. You have to pay for them, but they give you a coupon.
Oh,
because they know you're going to buy the fries.
French fries are great.
And the sauces they have for them are really good. They've got a ton of different sauces. They've got curry sauce and mayonnaise sauce, a weird cheese sauce.
Curry is the best thing in the world. Curry is the best thing in the world.
I'm just going to talk. You're so hungry the whole time. Okay. So, yeah, eggs. I'm not going to eat them regardless of what you say.
You know what you can do? You can put get a bowl of water and put the eggs in there. And if they sink, they're fine. If they float, they're bad. Yep.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
I learn something new every day. So, okay. So we've determined you like autumn. That's good. Excuse me. Do you travel much in the autumn to see the leaves?
Not really. I enjoy my ride to work though because I get on the Merritt Parkway. Yeah, and it's full beautiful. Of trees and stuff, so it's nice. Mm-hmm. It's nice and it's dangerous at the same time because if you get a day like a day that's like really wet and rainy, and then the leaves fall at the same time. Woo! It's a bad combination.
Yeah, like ice. At least ice stays in one spot. The leaves will slide with you. Like, forget it. No. Yeah, everybody out there, be careful. Wet leaves are very bad.
But it's very, beautiful. Very bad. I enjoy it, and that's one of the reasons why I like living in this area. You know, like this New York, New England area. So. You know, the changing of the seasons.
We get 4 seasons. Or really 3 if you count spring and autumn as being the same season.
And I like snow, but I didn't like the last year's snow. I wanted to kick a cloud in the face.
If you think it's bad here, dude, I went to visit a friend of mine in Boston. It was like 2-way streets were one way. People's cars were buried, and then when the plows came through, there was just no way to get their cars out. So they were just buried under maybe 10 feet of snow. It was absurd.
It's
like really bad. But I don't know what this year's going to be like.
It's Boston. Yeah.
Boston. Yeah, I'm actually going there on Friday.
You going to go pack your car?
No, I'm not going to pack my car. If you think I'm going to drive in Boston, you're insane.
You lying bastard.
Ridiculous. I can't do a Boston accent. I try to do Boston accent. Oh. I get Brooklyn. A really horrible Brooklyn. It doesn't work.
Speaking of that, I'm going to a Yankee game on Friday.
Oh, well, I'm going to a good team game on Friday.
We get some...
Yeah, I'm going to see the Red Sox.
Gross.
Yeah, I got my tickets right.
That's where you go. That's why you're going to Boston?
Wait. Yup.
Okay.
Now you made me paranoid. I'm like standing up like, are my tickets still here?
I got to pick them up. Okay. Or somebody's dropping them off to me tomorrow.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it was weird. Like to get tickets, I don't know, it's pretty tough. Like they'll sell tickets for like random day games, but since it's so far away, we have to go on a Friday night, Saturday, or Sunday, unless we want to take extra time off of work. And so we got these tickets, and the only way I was able to get them was winning a lottery to get the right to pay the money to buy tickets.
Wait a minute. So you had to pay for a lottery. A free lottery, but you still had to pay for tickets?
Yeah, it was a free lottery to earn the right to buy tickets because so many people want to, apparently. But on the plus side, I got, these tickets were in this weird section. It's called the Budweiser Field Deck. Like, we have tables. We have, like, a dinky little table. I have no idea.
How many of you guys are going?
I had to buy 4 tickets.
Ooh.
No more, no less.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's weird, right? Yeah, I'm going with my dad and 2 of his friends.
So let me ask you this. Being somebody that lived in... you lived on that cusp of, like, New York and Connecticut, more into New York. Mm-hmm. Did you get chastised for being a Boston fan? Yeah, and you know what's funny? At least here in Connecticut, you can get away with it with either being a Boston fan or a New York fan. Being where I live, where we live, you and I live, we live in the same general vicinity. We're more geared towards being New York fans. So when I have to go to work, which is in the other side of Connecticut, everyone there is a New England fan, Boston or New England Patriots. So when I start bringing my New York stuff in, then everybody gets all bent out of shape, and then I go tell them to go F themselves, stuff like that,
Yeah. Interestingly, Rochester, New York, up in the Northwest near Canada, more Red Sox fans at school.
That's strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's very peculiar. But yeah, so going up there, but it's weird though. So the tickets were kind of expensive. But they came with $25 worth of food. So I can buy so if I get $25 worth of credit of food, you know what that is at a baseball park? That's like a hot dog, a hamburger, and
no, it's one beer.
Yeah, aren't they are they is it like $12 for a beer, $19 for a beer?
I remember when I went to a Giants game a few years back, it was cold, man. It was freaking cold. And I was like, man, I got to get like something to drink, and I didn't want to drink that shitty coffee. And being the type of person that I am a coffee aficionado. I have to have it in a certain way, well, we can get more into detail with that at another time. Yeah. All right, in a second. Okay.
No, I want to ask you a question. Go on.
I said, let me have a hot chocolate. So I buy the hot chocolate. It comes in a Giants cup, right? It was like $15.
Oh gosh, was it a like a
it was like a plastic
cup?
But even think about it, souvenir cup. What did it cost? Giant Stadium, 5 cents.
$1 at most.
Not even 50 cents. In plastic.
Dude, they just sprinkled some Swiss Miss in the bottom of a glass and added boiling water.
It was the most disgusting hot chocolate I've ever drank in my life.
Aww. But okay, coffee, huh? All right, I don't know that much about coffee, but
just to throw this out there, if I had hit the lotto, we talk about this all the time, Jasmine and I. I'm gonna get my money and I'm opening up a coffee shop. Yeah, nice. There's something about coffee, and it's something. I guess it's when I've been drinking it since I was young because it's more of like a cultural thing for me. Mm-hmm. But experiencing it from different cultures and stuff like that, that's like the best part of it. When my grandma when she would make it when we were in Brazil, she used to make it with a nylon sock as a filter. Wow, and it had it was a nylon sock with almost like a coat hanger type of a deal. And you put it on top of the thermos, and then she put the coffee grounds in there, and then pour the water, the hot water, and then close it up and let it steep. Yeah, you let the whole thing in there with the filter and everything else steep, and then you take out the filter, and then you pour the coffee.
Wow, that reminds that. Oh, wow. Yeah, so one of my friends, they spent almost a year in Peru. And apparently when they made coffee there, I don't remember the exact details, but it was like they had this weird metal contraption, and they put the boiling water in the coffee, but the coffee comes out super duper strong. And what you're supposed to do is, I guess, pour some of that coffee and then add water until it's like at the level where you're comfortable drinking it.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Brazil. They usually they drink like a little bit of coffee with sugar, and that's it. There's no milk. You don't add milk or anything, and it's like so freaking strong, and it's perfect. Because to me, I'm so used to caffeine that it has to be like stupid strong for me to enjoy it. And then people drink my coffee the way that I make, because I don't buy like Starbucks coffee or store brand coffee. I usually buy. They come in a brick. It's Pilon or Bustelo. It's like a Spanish coffee, and it's like very ground, very fine, And I put like it'll tell you to put like 2 scoops for like 6 cups of water. I put like 4 scoops for 6 cups of water. It looks like when you go and pour it, it's like thick, and it looks like you can degrease things with it. Yeah.
Wow, like motor oil. Wow. Okay, I'm kind of intrigued now. Like, I don't drink coffee much because I like to keep my caffeine tolerance at a minimum. But that sounds intriguing.
If you have my coffee, you'll stay up for 4 days. Yeah.
Wow. So, what do you think of do you drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee?
Yes,
or?
But I have to ask when I drink it. I have to have they call it a turbo shot, because if not, I can't drink regular Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, and not
like
only
water.
that, I have a thing too with like and like I said, with you drink when you drink it a lot, you can tell nuances like in the taste. And like Dunkin' Donuts has it like they say they throw out the coffee every 15 minutes. It's a load of bull. They don't.
Oh no, dude! I
Yeah,
worked at
and you
Dunkin'
can
Donuts,
taste
man.
it because you can taste the burnt. You can taste it being burnt, and
Yeah,
it's
like it's
it's
supposed
the
to
same
be.
thing
Yeah,
at
go
home
on.
here. When I make it, if I make it, I have to drink it right then and there. If I wait another 15 minutes, I have to throw it out because I can already taste that it's burnt. And I can't stand burnt coffee, man. It's like one of my biggest pet peeves.
No, dude. When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, I mean, they told us every 45 minutes we're
Bullshit.
supposed to
It's supposed to be
rotate the
like, oh, I'm
coffee.
sorry, bull. It's supposed to be like 15 minutes. It should be.
Well, it told us 45. Like in the mornings, man, when it's that busy, you have to rotate it every 45 minutes or there's no coffee because it goes that quickly. But later on in the day, dude, I don't know. I don't think they're as strict.
No, and then the other thing too is like with me, I have a bit of a lactose intolerance. You know, I'm a bit lactose intolerant. So like cream, woo, I cannot. It does, dude. I don't want to sound graphic, but if I drink a Dunkin' Donuts coffee with cream, I have to drink it in the bathroom. I'm being serious. Yeah,
I understand.
That's serious.
Well, I have to wonder if you came to Dunkin' Donuts on my last day that I ever worked there before I went back to school, because it looked like somebody who was lactose intolerant drank a coffee with cream in there. I was just like, open door, shut door, back away. Oh, look, my shift ended 5 minutes ago. I'd better leave.
You should have told them clean up an aisle bathroom.
I think I warned somebody, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, for me, it could only be milk. Only milk.
Yeah. So, what do you think about like
oh
like
god, it's like a
coffee?
freaking it's like orgasmic.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big coffee guy, but if you get really nice like Italian, heck, espresso or frappuccino, not frappuccino, latte or cappuccino. Like,
the other
oh
day
my
we
gosh,
went
dude.
to a restaurant in Hartford. One of my friends, it's Carbone's. We ate, and then he's Italian, so he was like, oh, you want, he was like, you want anything else? I was like, yeah, let me get an espresso, right? And then he goes, yeah, 2 espressos. So we sit down, we drink it. Now Italians, it's a little bit different because the espresso, you don't put milk in it, you just drink it black with a little bit of sugar. But I didn't even put sugar in it. He had like a little wedge, like a lemon wedge, squeezed it right in there, dropped the whole lemon wedge in there, and drank it.
Wow.
And then to top it off, he had a little cookie, not a biscotti, but it was like a little cookie.
Yeah, they give you those little cookie
things. And I dipped it in there a little bit, ate it. Oh, bellissimo, right?
Amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Delicioso.
I'm telling you, man, I laugh because I had a guy that worked for me when I was working in New York, and he's Italian, and I used to tell him all the time, man, I have Italian, a little bit of Italian in me, and man, I'm telling you, as days goes on, I think I'm more Italian than anything else because I love Italian food.
Oh, it's good, man. I mean, I was basically raised on that stuff, though. Except, I mean, aside from my inability to correctly enjoy tomatoes, had a lot of Italian food. Every time I visited my grandparents, the meals were like, first of all, the meals would take like 3 hours. Like, you sit down and we'd have some pasta, okay, and we'd have some broccoli pie, okay, and then we'd have like, oh, here's the meatballs with the pasta. Oh, we forgot the meatballs with the pasta. Here you go. And then like, just so many different levels of food. Oh, the salad course. Like, it was an ordeal. Like, you could get tired just from the exertion of eating.
Yeah.
Thanksgivings were just ridiculous. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Italian food a lot. I just don't like spaghetti there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm more of a like a linguine guy. Linguine, fettuccine, stuff like the thicker pasta.
Yeah, don't get me started on angel hair.
For me, it's got to be that thicker pasta, and it's got to be very al dente. I don't like it soft. You know, it's got to be nice and a little firm. You know, firm pasta with a little with some homemade sauce.
I feel like we need to do a cooking with Howard and OJ segment or something. Like, we could just make an entire meal and then with dessert have nice coffee and cookies or something.
You see, I'm so addicted. I'm telling you, man. I'm like an addict with like caffeine. Like right now, just even talking about it, I could already smell the like if I were to go downstairs and make a pot of coffee, I could smell it. And it's already perking me up, you know?
Wow. No, that's the thing I've heard about though. That certain like chemicals and whatnot, that even just the memory and thinking about the chemicals can trigger some of their effects. Like, dang,
it's like for me, coffee is like cigarettes. I mean, I'm not lying, man. It's like I'm that's how I am.
Oh, caffeine addiction,
but
dude.
It's only for coffee. Ooh. Since I started, you know, taking better care of myself, I cut out. I don't drink soda. If I drink soda, it's a little bit.
Good man.
I just drink water and coffee.
Yeah.
And dude, when I'm telling you, man, the coffee, it has to. I'm telling you, it's. I don't know what it is. That's something I can never let go. And I did it. I did it once to see. I did it for a month. The first week, I thought I was gonna die. Like literally gonna die. I couldn't function. Bad? I would go to work and I would have like migraines.
I mean, your body's gotten used to it and it wants it.
Yeah, it wants it all the time.
Yeah, you just got to temper that and get it to a healthy.
Come on,
point,
what's wrong with 6 cups of coffee a day? There's nothing wrong with that, right? 6, 8. That's my.
I really don't want to see what happens if you wore a heart rate monitor for like a week or two.
You know what's funny? I have really low blood pressure.
Oh wow, yeah, I've got that issue too. Actually, a little bit, not terrible.
Yeah, they went to check my blood pressure. When I went for a physical. It was like I think it was like 109 or 108 over 65, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay, so before I die of starvation talking about food, here's a couple other weird things. So have you ever played any MMOs? Okay. So I've played MMOs before, and a bunch of my friends have had me try Final Fantasy 14, whatever. But you know, you want to know what my main problem is with MMOs? It's like the most fun things in MMOs are instance dungeons, right? Like you and a group of friends going through and taking on a dungeon all by yourselves, no outside interference, none of that nonsense. The thing that bugs me about MMOs is that all my friends have always done everything a million times before I get there. Because I don't play that much, I'm slow, I'm behind, you know. Like, I'm never at their level, and it takes me forever to reach their level unless I'm just playing with one of their alternate characters that's lower, you know? What gets me is we're going through all these dungeons and stuff, and they've all done this like hundreds of times, or maybe dozens. And you can just watch them, and they just rush through it. They run through it as fast as they can. Like, the point of the game is to have fun, and doing the dungeon is a portion of the fun. But it's just rushed through as fast as possible. And I'm looking through, and I was testing out, I was playing Final Fantasy, and there was this one dungeon in this like abandoned stone keep that's been taken over by dragons and stuff. And I'm looking around like, wow, look at this architecture.
Is that the one with the frozen castle? It's like a frozen castle.
I don't know if it's frozen, but there's snow everywhere, and no, I'm not high enough for Snowcloak yet. I think I'm at Steel Vigil.
Yeah. So it's what is it like mid 40s?
Yeah, my friends are all 60. I'm 40.
And this is your first job? Yeah, I had 5 jobs at level 50. That was before the level cap got raised, and then
that just went up.
Yeah, and then I stopped playing because it was just it was consuming, dude. I was doing like some of the higher raids, like the really high runs, and like I think I got to coil turn 7. No, I did coil turn 8. That was the highest I ever did.
Yeah, like so all my friends are doing that, and like so you've done all the dungeons before. It's like it's a cakewalk for you. You know exactly what to do. And like we're reaching a boss fight, and my friends are like, "Okay, just watch out for tornadoes, and when his buddy shows up, shoot him with a cannon." I'm like, what? we walk over there in the boss fight. We're fighting a dragon inside a room, and outside the room, there's an even bigger dragon that shows up and shoots like ice at you, and tornadoes and fireballs and whatnot. And you have to shoot him with cannons to knock him down. I'm like, that's awesome. Excuse me, but I could have figured that out.
But it takes a while too, because you have to. Not only do you have to do your, like, if you're a support class, what job are you? Which DPS?
I am a Thermidor. Blancmange.
Okay, so you're a black mage. So you have it a little bit more tough, because now not only are you in the midst of casting spells, it depends on how you guys decided to do it. Somebody has to touch the cannon, watch where the dragon is, touch the cannon, and do their job.
But the point is, you can figure that out. You know, just like if someone had just said, watch keep an eye out on the window, or hey, look at those awesome cannon. Like, just keep looking at the awesome cannon. I'd be like, okay. You know, they've done it so many times. There's no sense of wonder anymore, and they just rush through as fast as possible. After that fight, I looked out where the cannon were outside the walls. It was beautiful. There's this snowy mountainscape, and there's snow falling down. I'm not gonna lie,
I'm the same way, because I did the whole thing, and I did all the story and everything else, and not once did I read through the story. I just kept clicking.
No, I watch the cutscenes. I read the story, and I'm just looking through it like, this is awesome. Like, this is beautiful. And then I turned around and realized all my friends had run off to the next fight. They're all fighting stuff, and I'm like, oh no, and to catch up. And that's the problem. This is the main problem I have with MMOs. Basically, it's that there's other people. Like, playing a single player game, you're playing, The Witcher or maybe not Dark Souls or Demon Souls, because you're going to die and you don't have time to look. But you're playing any other RPG or something, you can stop and take a look and go, wow, this is really cool. Someone put a lot of thought into this. And I feel bad for whoever built the architecture here, because I never get to see it. There's some cool effects, like you go to a cool room with all these colors everywhere underground, and there's crystals and all that jazz. And you never get to see it.
They changed that, though, because, like, one of the things, if I'm not mistaken, a few months into the before this expansion, Yoshi P added something where, like, it forced people to go around and view things, like view landscapes and stuff. And you would get like an achievement if you went around and did all the views. I forgot what it was called. It was like a certain word for it, because people were just like blowing through the game and just, trying to get like all the high level items and stuff. And that was pretty much it. And then the other thing too is like the games get annoying too after a while. And this is one of the reasons why I stopped playing, was people don't have patience. Specifically, if you're in like a raid, right, and it's the first time you've done it. And you're learning, you're watching the video, before you do it, and you study the video, but you have to experience it to know what's going on. And people don't give you that right to learn.
Yeah, that's my problem. Like, I don't want to watch how to solve raid problem, do this way video. No, F that. I want to go through and, maybe if someone wants to give me some advice or give me some mild instructions, sure. I want to figure it out. I'm playing a game. Like, do you play through Fallout 4 or something? Well, Fallout 4 is not out yet, but do you play through Fallout or Skyrim and read a guide on exactly what to do to how to get through the quest? Maybe you look up some stuff if you're lost.
Not really, but that's different though. The MMO thing, it's kind of, because you haven't done it yet. You didn't do any of the larger raids and stuff like that, right?
I've never done a raid. Like, the biggest thing I did was like not Arathi Basin and Pantscraft, but like some of the bigger like 8-man dungeons.
Yeah, some of that stuff is like Final Fantasy. Some of the stuff is like it's crazy. Brutal isn't the word. Some of it was really brutal. And then before they gave the what is it called? They give you Echo. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. I happen hate the Echo and want it to die, but I'll admit
Echo, like a few of the prime.
Or friends Echo is like Echo is.
You go into a raid and they give you like a 10% increase in all your stats. So now you get 10% increase in HP, MP, all your attributes get a 10% increase. So now instead of you get specifically with HP, it helps out a lot, because if you get hit with some of these things, it's insta kill. There's nothing. It's insta kill or it's close to insta kill. So. But now with the Echo, some of the fights are like stupid easy. Like the first coil, I don't know if your friends ever told you, but the coil turn 1 is a snake. And like you're fighting the snake, and then what you have to do is the way he stands, you have to tank him in like the front, and there's like these grids on the floor, these hexagon shapes on the floor. Your whole raid has to split up, and what happens is the lit up ones, you have to stand on them. This is before they did all the stuff. You used to have to stand on him.
Oh wow, yeah. I thought a dungeon
and then
like that too.
Slime comes up, but the thing is, the slime comes up, it aggroes you. You don't kill it. You hit it so that the HP gets really, really low, and you bring it to the snake, and the snake eats it. And then when the snake eats it, it gives it a debuff. The snake. If you don't do that, the snake keeps buffing up, and he hits like a truck, man. I remember in the beginning, he used to hit.
Yeah.
If he keeps getting buffed up, he used to hit like 1,000 per hit. It's like a truck. And then what happened was, in the middle of you doing that, right? You have to kite the slime at like 50% life. The snake splits in 2. So now that's why you have 2 tanks. The other tank has to pull the snake to the corner and tank him by himself, and then everybody's focus is to the first snake. Then you get the first snake, you kill the first snake, or you get him down to like almost 1%, and then everybody moves to the other snake. Because what happens is, if you kill that snake first, the other snake goes into rage mode. So and then it's like, that's how it was before. It used to be a bitch of a fight because nobody knew how to do it. Then it started getting easier, and then it got to the point where you didn't even have to let the snake, like for me, I used to never let the snake split. If the snake split, I would grab both snakes, and I can tank both snakes. That's how stupid it gets, you know? Because everybody's at one point, I remember, I think when I before, like I said, I was level 50. I had like my warrior had like 12,000 HP. Yeah. My tank, my paladin was like 8,000 or 9,000, but the paladin's different. It's different tanking, you know? But
yeah. Well, the thing that gets me is this whole echo buff thing. So in the game, there's instances where it's just you doing, for our friends at home, doing a story quest where it's basically you have to do the story quest by yourself. No one can come in and help you. And there's usually some NPCs. And there was this one story quest that was a nightmare. There was a story quest you had to do to get Stone Vigil, which was basically you go confront this guy with a bunch of with a couple of minions and this crazy strong guy who's your buddy. And eventually he turns into, like, he summons some enemies to fight, and then you kill them, and you get him down to half, and he turns into an effing dragon, and that's bad enough. And then he summons a wyvern just because he feels like it. And it's really hard, and I kept dying. And if you die a couple times, the game now says, "Oh, poor Pookie, here, have 10% buff to everything, enjoy." And that makes me angry. Every other time that happened to me, I would cancel that buff immediately, but I just couldn't do it. It was that hard, and I eventually was able to beat it, but only because I A, had the buff, and B, I just ran around in an effing circle with the monster fighting me, and every 2 seconds I would hit an instant cast spell for damage. So he wouldn't catch up to me, and I would just kill him by running in an effing circle.
So then that's what I mean. So you get into these, you figure out how to play the game in a different way, but that's what I mean. The Echo doesn't teach you that. It teaches you to not cheat, but like ease your way out of the fight, you know? Mm-hmm. But that's because they wanted to make the game more accessible to everyone. Very accessible, easily accessible, you know?
Yeah, it's I mean, I've died a few times, but usually just doing the stupid stuff.
Yeah, and some of the jobs, I'll be honest with you, some of the jobs I had a lot of fun with. Like, I had both healer jobs leveled, White Mage and Scholar, and Scholar was like my favorite job. Scholar was my absolute favorite job. Because it was just one of those things where it really showed if you can multitask. And what it is too is that you have to put all of your trust in the pet for the pet to go ahead and heal your party. If you're good, you never have to cast a heal. The pet will heal everyone. And then all you do is like throughout the whole dungeon or dungeon. You can't do it in raids. Raids you have to heal, but like the whole dungeon, you can just DPS the whole time, because that's what I did. Because Scholar, when you level up, what's the job before Scholar? It's Scholar and no,
astrologer.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because when you open up the job for Scholar, and let's say you take Scholar all the way to the max level, as soon as you open up the other job, I forgot what the other job, Arcanist. Yeah, but then there's, what's the name of the Summoner? It's Arcanist and then Summoner. As soon as you level up Scholar or Summoner to max level, as soon as you unlock the other job, you're at max level for the other job. You don't have to level up Summoner. You understand?
Huh.
You're already max level. You just have to go ahead and unlock the job and then just do the quest for the job, the limit break quests. So Scholar, so what I did was I changed it up a bit because I read some things online about it, and people were like, don't even bother putting your attributes, your level up attributes into mind. What mind is what makes your healing potency better. Just do it in intelligence, because now when you heal, you're not supposed to be throwing up whatever the heal is. I forgot. I haven't played this in a long time. Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Yeah.
You're supposed to trust your pet to do most of the healing, and then you're there to debuff the mob. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting job. Very, very interesting. I liked it.
So the moral of the story is, sometimes you need to research stuff, sometimes you don't, and sometimes people run past the pretty vistas. So, okay, so that's our little MMO primer there for everybody. So I guess we are running towards the end of the show here, getting kind of close to the end. So I was wondering if there's anything else you wanted to mention while we still had this time. Oh, great and
yeah, I just want to say that if no one's watched it yet, Rick and Morty is like one of the best shows ever.
Oh, dude! If you check Rambo's Twitter, somebody posted a Rick and Morty drawing of he.
Thank you, because I was the one that said it. I was the one that brought it up. I got to look at this. I got to see this. I did not see this.
Oh, okay, everyone. Howard's reaction to the amazing art from Bradley?
Right now.
I think it's Bradley. What's the name? For our friends playing along at home, I'm sorry you can't see it if you're just listening.
Rambo just blew my mind. Is it really?
Where'd it go? I know it's here. It might be only under Rambo then, instead of me. Where the heck did it go? Weird. Oh, I need notifications. There we go. I'll send you a link if you can't find it.
You found it?
Oh, I found it. Yup. Like, this is one of my backgrounds. My work computer has rotating backgrounds, and the cool art from the show gets up in there. I added this immediately.
Dude, that is awesome.
It is so perfect.
Freaking awesome.
I've got my glasses. Rambo's got his hat, and the little glowing thing next to me looks like an orange. So Bradley 0x, Bradley _0x. Again, well done. Really amazing
awesome.
work.
Wow.
Yeah, it is pretty much just perfect. Like, I'm loving this show very much. And I haven't seen everything. I've only been able to see what I can watch for free on the Comedy Central site.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I love that show, and I'm thankful that it got the green light for a second season. And not only that, did you know that the creators of that show made Simpsons intro? Yeah, and it's a Rick and Morty intro to The Simpsons. Yeah, if you get a chance, it's on YouTube. It's really cool. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make a note of that right now before I forget. Well, oops, it helps if I don't spell Google without the G.
Yeah, and then the other thing, too, that I'm excited about, I got to make some time to watch it, is this new Muppets show.
Yeah, I want to know if it's any good. I'm still annoyed at the Kermit Miss Piggy breakup shenanigans, but new Muppet Show. Yeah, I hope. I didn't even check to see how
They
it was
said there were
reviewed or
some really
anything.
good jokes, and there were some good jokes, in the commercials about it. But I heard it's like a mixed bag, So I guess what it is too is that I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt because some of these critics are real brutal. So because I think they're expecting the old Muppet Show, and it's not going to be the old Muppet Show, but
Yeah,
no, you're right. Nothing can be.
Yeah. Cool. So one last thing I wanted to say was, those of you who poke at Twitter will see that Rambo and I picked up Super Mario Maker, and Rambo and I messed around on it, made a course, and I added a couple courses later. I'm probably going to, every time I add a course, at least for the first 10, I'm going to post it to Twitter. So if you're interested and have the game and you want to see how bad I am at designing Mario levels, well, go right ahead. It's sitting right there and waiting for you.
Yeah, we were talking to Rambo, or I was talking to Rambo the other day about it, and I was really close to buying a Wii U just to play that game.
It's really fun. There's some things that are very irksome, but
and I saw something on Kotaku about like the best Mario levels, and there was some of them that were really screwed up.
The Waluigi.
Yes, there was one that was was it Waluigi? Where, it was that one, and then there was another one where it was Mario. It was talking about the guy. I don't know. It was like, what would you do? Would you kill someone, or would you kill for your son? And it goes through like a whole story, and he's doing the dialogue in coins, and then like one of the things is, would you kill your best friend to save your son? And it was like Yoshi there in the corner, and for you to advance in the level, you have to like hit the brick, and Yoshi goes through the lava. Yeah, it's really really screwed up.
That is really effed up. Wow. So, okay, well, I guess on that wonderful, happy note, that brings the third or fourth semi-annual Howard and OJ show to an end.
We didn't read the Subway tweets, but you know what? We can always save that for another.
Well, I would have had to have prepared those. I mean, everyone's waiting for them since they know you're going to be here. Sorry to disappoint you guys. I forgot to get them in advance.
That's all right.
And you have to sort through them to find the ones. I mean, like, fine. I'm just going to quickly look at Subway. Don't go, Howard, because if you see him, it's not as much fun as if someone reads them to you, I think.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure we're not going to find anything good here, because you have to go through. These are all really positive. But I do want to say, one of the things about Subway is, wow, what I've been watching the show Chuck, and Subway, I think, had an advertising deal with them, because they have Subway sandwiches in episodes all the time, and they always describe them as being amazing. Like, every single time. Wow, computer, freeze, please freeze. That's really cool. That's awesome. I can't even spell today. Like, in Chuck, you'll just see this character eating a giant sandwich, and they're all just like, oh, dang it, I hate going to Twitter's website. And quickly scrolling through the first few.
Here we go. Lonely AF, mad, ampersand, Subway, quotations, home style, quotation, chicken noodle soup is terrible. WTF, question mark, exclamation point. It's not even homemade. Fuming.
Okay, I actually got a couple of them.
Read them out. At
Jessica Putcher 1 had the worst sub today. OMG, this kid left half of it without anything on it. I usually love Subway. Here's one from Beatrix Kiddo at Jonah Caprio. At Subway, y'all forgot the bacon and cheese on my sub, so thanks for wasting my time and ruining my sad life.
Oh, man. Here's one. At Gabby Jablonski. I want a sandwich, people, not a salad. There's a distinction, people. Find the balance. Hashtag Subway. How is that?
I don't even get this one. Some guys saying, Yeah. So someone posted at Subway. It's at Subway. Subway's new advertising got no chill. And it's a picture of Jared with a milk mustache saying, "Hey kids, say tuna sub backwards. That's what I'ma do on your face."
Oh, man. I gotta...
Yeah. I don't even... Wait, someone... Okay, this isn't even Subway related. This one guy, Starkey Plays, with a Z, says, "I follow the most random things, aka at Subway, at Snickers, at Oreo, at Reese's PB Cups, at Amazon UK. No, you're an advertising shill and you want one of these big companies to reply to you so you can feel Oh my gosh, I am such a horrible, mean person."
Oh, God. Here's one. I don't know if this is supposed to be erotic or something. At Jana the Hutt. He groans again. A small one. Not a loud. "Oh my God, it's so good groan." More like a whisper, like a sound of relief. Hashtag eating at the library, hashtag Subway.
What?
Here's a
Okay.
Here's a continuation.
This is...
Crinkle
No.
of plastic. He groans as he chews his sandwich. He's chewing pretty fast. Here, continuation. He is crunching on some pickles. He groans. Chewing is still loud as ever. Very moist sounding chews.
Wow. Okay. That's fun. Here's a good one. At Sickroy6 says, "Remember at Subway used to have the guy who looked like a pedophile as their spokesperson and it turned out he was a pedophile? Hashtag crazy. Hold on, it's the reply that gets you." At Terraphone says, "At Sickroy, remember when I lied about my age at 15, worked at Subway, took acid and peed in the vinegar and left set the meatballs on fire in the microwave."
He peed in the vinegar and set the meatballs on fire?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even understand. Some of these people I have to think are kidding. Like, at Andrea Vento says, "I keep spending my money on Subway. At Subway is live."
I hope that's not real.
Yeah.
I think that might be for real.
At Carly P.S. Smith. At Subway, I'm not paying $7 for bread, a one slice of meat. Pick up your game.
Here's a good one. At WC Doran. "I understand damage control, but when your taglines like hashtag Subway footlong has your name on it."
Here's a coffee one. I don't know. It's a picture of a cup of coffee with no foam.
What?
At Kyle Coddle 1 says, "At Subway, bought this from your store in Bath. They call this a cappuccino. After asking for a refund, they banned me?"
What? Can you...
Apparently, he didn't like his coffee and they banned
somebody
him.
from your restaurant if they... What?
Yeah. Go figure. So, yeah. That's basically it. Wow. Now this is really confusing. At USPIRG says, "Hey, at Subway, to live up for your healthy brand, commit to stop serving meat raised on antibiotics." But here's the thing. There's a picture with this image, with this tweet, and it's just a picture of a blonde woman kind of half smiling, looking a little awkward. I don't what does that have to do with antibiotics? Is she the meat? Did she not have antibiotics when she was a kid? I don't get it. But
yeah, I'm a little... Wow.
Yeah, I think that's Subway replied to one. At Gabby Dutton. At Subway, was not very pleased with my sandwich. Bread was stale and was not given good portions on veggies. Service was good, but food wasn't. And they just had a nice little reply. We regret that you didn't have the subway experience you expected and deserved. Please share the details.
Oh, wow. Here's a good
Yeah.
one. Seafront Subway. Feeling #hungry? What do you prefer, a 6-inch or a foot-long? Discuss. Eat Fresh, South End Subway. So what do you prefer, a 6-inch or a foot-long? Yeah.
Are you asking me? A foot long because I'm hucking fungry.
I hope it's a foot-long sandwich.
But someone else's. I hate you. But here is something interesting. This isn't really a funny one, but at Grace Rains, at Subway, 6 inches too small for me, 12 inches too big. Do you have any plans to introduce a 9-inch into our lives? What she doesn't get, though, is the 6-inch, they only have 12-inch breads. They cut the 12-inch in half to get a 6-inch. Unless they start selling 3-inch breads.
So she can't take 12 inches, but she can take 9 inches?
Yes.
6 inches too small. I could take 9 or 12.
At We Blossom We Die, at Subway, get gluten-free bread ASAP. I'm craving an Italian BMT so hard right now.
Wow, he's hard.
I just feel like saying something awful, like, if you want something Italian, I've got something that's gluten-free. Ha, ha, ha.
You got something that's gluten-free? I hope it's bread.
Mm-hmm. It might have once been bread.
You might have a problem.
I probably do. But, okay, so I think we've hit just about that time. Hopefully the audio won't be too long to properly upload. So, well, Howard, any final words?
No, that's it. It's always an honor to come on the show. I know it's a little bit strange, just John and myself being on here, but I think we did a good show. We had a good time. You know, I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little, like I said, a little bit strange.
Well, yeah, I hope that no one minds. We got, I guess, a little heavy at the beginning there. A little hot and
heavy, a little hard.
Yeah, we lightened up by the end and ended with the Subway tweets that I'm sure you all were clamoring for.
With 12 inches of hard, long bread.
Crusty. Well, everyone, Howard, you want to say goodbye for you?
Thank you, everyone. Howard out.
You want to, say the names of your stuff or anything? Do you have any stuff? So if you want people to tweet at you, anything like that?
#footlong. Footlong.
Okay. All right, folks. So, for Howard, for the show, for myself, this is OJ, wishing Rambo a happy and a good night, hoping he had a nice break. This has been John Rambo Presents the Show, the best in free and optional entertainment. Good night. Oh, yeah.
This has been a production of STAYBALLSY.com, the best in free and optional entertainment. Have a pleasant evening, and remember, stay ballsy. Don't take any shit from anyone.